All right, Sunset Rewind 2026 Summer Edition. We are at the beautiful Costa Mesa Country Club, joined by Coach Kevin Hettig. We are here today for the Corona Del Mar football golf tournament. What a wonderful day, Coach. Thanks for having us out here. How'd you play today?
Play was up and down, but we're good with kind of how it ended up.
Shot a 59, right?
Well, absolutely 58. I think was the course right. We were good on that. No, but today's about seeing people around the program and enjoying times with these guys, and it was so much fun. We had a really good time today.
So, what's it like having the support system that you have at Corona Del Mar? It must be pretty nice as a head coach. You got all these things to focus on, but one thing you probably don't have to worry about is such a great support system.
No, our support staff, and it starts at the top. It starts with our admin. Our principal Jake Haley is phenomenal. Supports every program on campus, whether it's the arts or the sports or the student body. He's phenomenal. And then Brian Walsh, our athletic director, is second to none. But we have support everywhere. And then when you get into the support side of former players, alumni, and former coaches coming out and playing with us today, it's a really special place, and I'm so happy to be a part of that.
So this year, you're still in the Bravo League, but it's going to have a whole different look. You got teams like Capo Valley coming in, Crean Lutheran's coming in, La Habra is going to be coming in. What'll it be like facing those teams with really good coaches? And we can't forget about Tustin as well.
It's funny because all those coaches are wonderful, and it's not just really good coaches, but every single team, it's a war. Every week, it's a war. And if we look at like the ESPN 300. That Bravo League, the players, some of the high-end players in the Bravo League, I don't know the number specifically, but I'd be willing to bet that it's pretty close to what the Alpha League is, if not more. I kind of think it's more. So we're seeing some elite talent in Orange County. We're fired up for it. And the way the dynamic of the league's going and kind of, Korean Lutheran obviously has some high-profile transfers coming in. And they just got a kid from South Carolina that's a really good defensive end, and we've seen some of his tape already, and he's a player. But for us, we are going to do what we do. We're going to worry about us, and we're going to go play every game as best we can. And it actually there's something about it that makes us look forward to it. Like, hey, let's go play against that. Let's go see what that looks like. Let's go. And I think our kids are in the right spot mentally to go compete every week.
So there's a gentleman on your staff that I keep hearing about, and your strength and conditioning coach. Tell us about what he brings to your program.
I cannot give enough credit in a minute about what Chad Wesley Smith does for our program. First of all, he's a great friend, a great human being. He cares about kids so much, and our strength and conditioning. We've always hung our hat on what we do in the weight room and this and that, and he has just taken this thing to a whole nother level. He's published, something. I don't want to miscount the books, but I think it's 8 to 10 books. One of them's a big seller on Amazon on strength conditioning for football specifically. But his intent, his care every day with our kids is phenomenal, and it has transformed our program. His work ethic, what he does day in, day out for these kids is phenomenal. And he does it because he loves it. And we appreciate him so much. I, as a head coach, appreciates him so much, but he could coach a football position if he wanted. He'd be the best coach at that position, or, in the weight room, what he's doing right now, he's the best I've ever seen. He takes every kid's interest at heart, and he's great. Follow through, work ethic, all that stuff. Chad's the best. And you may talk to him a little bit later, and I hope you do, because that guy is as good as it gets anywhere. And I'm not saying in the Orange County. I'm not saying in the country. I don't know if there's a better guy.
I keep hearing these stories about him.
It's unbelievable. He's the best.
Everybody's just talking about how phenomenal the program is that he runs.
Yeah.
You have a phenomenal staff as it is. Every time I'm at one of your games and on the sideline, all your coaches are professional. They know football. Corona Del Mar just seems like such a wonderful place to be. On a personal note, what's the best part about being the head coach at Corona Del Mar High School?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I think the reason I coach football is for the relationships, right? And relationship with the players, relationship with coaches, people, surrounding the program and the orbit of the program. Our staff is second. It's phenomenal. And we don't bring someone on our staff, and this is a rule that I have and that I think we've had for a long time here, from Scott Meyer to Dan O'Shea to myself, that I would not trust my own kids with.
Right.
And these guys are my best friends in the world. And I think that there's something special in that. I think the kids can feel that a little bit, the connection that the staff has together. There's never, we're all on the same page all the time.
Right.
So I think that part of it's, really, really special. And as far as what's great about being at Corona Del Mar, it's a community. It's what you see out here today at the golf tournament. It's people that care so much. It's the support. It's phenomenal. It's as a head football coach, there's always going to be headaches, right? There's always going to be something that goes sideways or something that goes this way or that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just great when it happens. And those voices are so muted by the overall momentum of the program, day in, day out, year in, year out. And I think that I think that is special. And I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be coaching at this program.
Well, you do such a great job. You're always so good to us. One more question, Teran?
So you're going to be playing Santa Barbara at your place, your actual place, when it comes to week 1. What'll that be like, and what are you looking forward to when it comes to that matchup?
So that's week 1. That's our second game of the year. I think we actually just got that just got moved now. So we're back at Davidson. Yes. So we'll be playing that second game of the year at Davidson, which is a big bummer. There's some legal and logistical things with that. I think our community, our kids, were looking so forward to that. As a coach, I was looking forward to that. I mean, we've said it before, but every game for us is an away game. Basically, we logistically, right? You have to get your stuff on the bus and go. And we were really looking forward to making that thing turn. But there's some legal pieces that we couldn't fit late. So that got pulled out, which is fine. And we're going to go compete our tails off at Davidson. But I do hope that this at least spurs some change that could come in the future on playing games at our place.
Absolutely. And we're looking forward to covering you all this season.
Wait.
Football season can't get here any sooner.
We're close.
We're counting down the days on our fingers and toes and every other body part in our body.
But we all are. Yeah, we all are.
But thank you, Kevin. We appreciate you. We appreciate your staff, and we appreciate everything that you do for us. We'll let you get back to some dinner.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank you,
so much,
guys. I
Coach.
appreciate
it.
All right. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, 2026 Sunset Rewind Summer Series back at the Corona Del Mar Football Golf Tournament. We're joined by Eddie Susolik. Eddie, you just graduated high school, correct?
Yes.
So this is a summer going into college?
Summer going into college.
What are your plans college-wise?
I'm going to go play D3 football with University of Redlands.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's outstanding.
Thank you.
How'd the golf game go today?
Better than I normally play. Shot a 92, so 1 over bogey golf.
Okay.
Or 2 over. So good for me, but yeah.
But did you have fun?
Oh, man, a blast.
So you just recently graduated. Congratulations on that, too. But you're already networking with the alumni. Smart move.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Did you meet any alumni today that you hadn't met before?
No, I didn't, meet any. Like, I didn't get to talk to any, but I, know that they're here.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably talked to them in the banquet afterwards.
Mm-hmm. So what was your favorite thing about Corona Del Mar football when you were a player?
Probably the shift in culture that I felt going into my senior year. Junior year, it felt like we kind of flipped a switch, and that senior year was it was the most fun I've ever had playing football, just because we all felt so together, and I feel like that's gonna shift into this year as well. So yeah, that's my favorite, and I'm glad to see what happens for next year.
Let me ask you this. I know you're just about to start college probably in a couple weeks here. What's the most valuable lesson that you learned playing football at Corona Del Mar High School?
Valuable lesson. I guess, you have to face adversity. It's going to happen in life, and it's just your mentality towards it that matters the most.
Okay. What advice? So you're going to play college, so you've been through the whole process and everything.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a kid who's like maybe a sophomore or junior in high school now, and they want to play college football? What if they had 10 minutes and they could ask you questions? What advice would you give them?
About like the recruiting process.
Yeah, the
or
whole process and
the whole
how
process.
to get to the level you're at.
Well, trust the coaches. The coaches, if you really want to play, they will. You have to let them know for sure, and then, trust them to do their thing. Like Hettig, Coach Hettig, he did a awesome job. He set me up with the University of Redlands coach,
Okay.
and yeah, it was kind of that's all. That's all. Just trust the coaches, and then yeah, I'm trying to think of some more, but that's about all I can say.
And one last thing. If you can go back and relive or redo any game that you played in or that you were involved in, which one would it be and why?
100% without a doubt, Santa Barbara.
Oh,
When we were
cool.
down 0-21,
Mm-hmm.
I think going into halftime, and just, no one, I don't think a single person at halftime thought this game's over. We all knew we had a chance to come back, and we did, and the stadium was electric. Garrett scoring that final touchdown and us going up, that was just amazing. I don't even know. I don't know. It was just such a crazy game. I wish I could relive it.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Eddie, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us a couple
Absolutely.
minutes today. We'll let you get back to the festivities.
For
Thank you
sure.
so much. Congratulations on graduating high school, and
Thank you.
congratulations on playing football at the University of Redlands.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Yeah,
joining
we look
us.
forward to seeing what you can do over there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie.
All right, Sunset Rewind 2026 Summer Edition. We are at the beautiful Costa Mesa Country Club here today for the Corona Del Mar Football Golf Tournament. We are joined by Myles Petek, who just recently graduated from Corona Del Mar High School. Congratulations on that, Myles.
Thank you.
And you're rocking a Utah shirt, so that's where we're headed for college next year, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And not to play football necessarily, but you're joining the ROTC program.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that for a moment. What led you to that path?
It's always something I've kind of had an interest in. Serving this great country that we live in. But it's a great opportunity to learn a lot. You can't really learn in the classroom, and you set yourself up for like future success. So, something I'm excited to pursue.
Do you have something specific that you want to major in that'll prepare you for military service?
The major I'm currently going into is political science.
Okay.
So I think it kind of fits in with like military aspect kind of, and sets you up for other jobs after you get out.
Okay. Do you want to have a career in the military, or is it just enlistment afterwards?
Because the commitment's 4 years, so after
Correct.
that, I'm not entirely sure, but
You'll know when you get there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. But I was hoping maybe like doing something with like politics, kind of,
Yeah.
or like State Department, something like that.
Well, either way, that military is going to benefit you. You're going to have
Exactly.
benefits and all that
all the
stuff.
benefits, all
and,
that
so-
sets you up.
But I got to
Yes.
thank you in advance. Thank you for being willing to serve our country and make our country a great place. I
Yes,
appreciate
thank
that.
you for your future service.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So something I do want to know is, what do you think you learned the most with CDM football, and what valuable lesson did you take away from it?
I'd have to say, kind of like never like giving up. There's a lot of times where we're like, actually not this year, but in previous years we're down in games and stuff. But never giving up on your team, giving up on your friends and stuff. Like just being like fighting through adversity and all that was a really big component of our core values and all that. So I think that was probably the main thing I learned. Just not quitting.
What advice would you give to a current seeking football player?
I'd say just keep going. There's going to be a lot of challenges you face, but the more you push and keep going, it always turns out how it's supposed to. Everything works out.
Okay, so I got to ask you this. We ask everybody we've interviewed today. How'd you golf today?
Could be better. I'll stick to football. How about that?
Okay, stick to football. Good answer. Good answer.
So I do need to ask this. If you can go back and relive or redo one football game that you played with Corona Del Mar High, what would it be and why?
That's a hard question. There's so many good games we had this year. I'd say it's Santa Barbara, Battle of Bay is hard not to say, but honestly, I'd have to go San Juan Hills senior night. Last game at Davidson, our home field. That was a hard game to beat. That was a lot of fun. Big upset, hard to beat.
Great memories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There is.
Myles, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
We'll let
you.
you get back to the
All right.
banquet. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on not only graduating high school but going to college. Go Utes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Again, thank you for taking the path that you did, the ROTC. We commend you for that. thank you very much. It means a lot to a lot of people.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks for being
thanks.
here.
Yeah, thanks, Myles.